Before we start the movie recap, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to watch parts 1 and 2 of the Terrifier series, you'll find the links in the description box below. The story starts, and we see one night, a little girl refuses to sleep. She feels like someone is walking around in her room. Her mother tells her to go to sleep, saying it's just Santa Claus delivering gifts. The girl believes her and tries to fall asleep quietly. Her mother, feeling relaxed, goes back to her room. But a little while later, the girl hears strange noises coming from downstairs. Curiosity gets the better of her, and she sneaks down to check. She sees a shadow moving, but when the shadow turns around, she realizes it's not Santa, but a horrifying clown. The clown slowly enters her brother's room and brutally kills him. Then, without saying a word, he heads to the parents' room. He strikes the father's neck with an axe and chops up his body. The mother wakes up from the noise and screams in horror at the sight of the blood. Terrified, she tries to run and rushes to her son's room to check on the kids. There, she sees her son's dead body. Panicked, she runs to escape, but the front door is locked. The clown follows her and strikes her with the axe. She falls to the ground. He hits her again, leaving her body brutally wounded. Finally, he lands a final blow to her head, killing her instantly. The clown then begins cutting up the corpses into pieces and calmly sits down to eat something. After eating, he starts cleaning up the kitchen. Suddenly, he hears a faint noise coming from inside a cupboard. He slowly opens it and sees the little girl trembling inside. He walks toward her slowly, as if ready to grab her with his evil intent. This maniac has destroyed many lives in his madness, and now he has returned to bring terror to the village once again. The villagers aren't unfamiliar with such horror. They remember what happened 5 years ago when the police had caught this clown. When an officer spots a body this time, he immediately calls for backup, but before they arrive, he is suddenly attacked and killed. Even the hospital isn't spared from the horror. A terrifying-looking woman is seen eating someone's body. Doctors rush to the scene, but have no chance to escape. The clown also arrives at the hospital and brutally injures a doctor's face. With a new, horrifying look, the clown unleashes chaos across the town, like death itself is riding with him. A woman is looking at herself in the mirror when she suddenly gets horrified by the sight of her terrifying face. In a fit of madness, she starts smashing her head against the mirror until it shatters into pieces. Then she picks up a shard of broken glass, sits in the bathtub, and cuts her arm, letting the blood flow. 5 years later, the people who once encountered this clown are slowly starting to move on from their fear. Her sister Sienna has completed her mental therapy and is now living at her aunt's house. Her brother Jonathan is attending college. People have gradually begun to forget the terrifying memories of the clown. 2 demolition company workers arrive to inspect the old house that once belonged to the clown. As soon as they step inside, they notice a strange smell. One of them, a middle-aged man, starts telling an old story that most people had forgotten. However, his colleague thinks it's just a joke and doesn't believe him. But they soon become part of the story. One of them, wearing a hat, goes upstairs and finds a clown sleeping among cobwebs. He can't tell whether the clown is real or fake and starts walking toward it. Suddenly, the clown attacks him and throws him from the top. Meanwhile, his partner downstairs picks up a shard of broken mirror, confused about what just happened. But before he can react, the clown attacks him too, slashing at him viciously. The woman comes out of the bathtub and brutally kills him. The clown grabs his companion and slams his hands onto the floor, then slashes his face with a knife, injuring him. After that, he cuts off his fingers and stares at his blood-covered face. Meanwhile, Sienna is having dinner with her family, trying to forget some painful memories. She has no idea that outside, the clown is preparing for another deadly rampage. He tests a new weapon by spraying liquid nitrogen on rats, freezing them solid like ice. He then picks up one of the frozen rats and throws it near the others. Later, he blends into a crowd and visits a bar where he meets some new people. He chats with them, but despite the blood stains on his clothes and face, they ignore him. The clown's behavior becomes even more disturbing, making people around him uneasy. When he tries to attack an elderly man, others intervene to stop him. Eventually, he's left alone and begins focusing on his sinister plan again. A dangerous man humiliates humiliates an elderly man by tearing off his shirt and tying him to a chair. He then takes out a special bottle filled with liquid nitrogen and pours it on the old man's body, forming a thin layer of frost due to the intense cold. After a while, he picks up a hammer and strikes the frozen skin, causing deep wounds. In the market, a festive Christmas atmosphere fills the air. Sienna is out shopping with her relatives when she suddenly spots a man dressed as the clown staring at her. She freezes in fear, tears welling up in her eyes. Her family tries to comfort her, but she can't understand whether what she saw was real or just her imagination. Shauna begins to suspect that the terrifying clown has returned. So, she goes to meet her brother, Jonathan, and tries to talk to him about it. Jonathan's friend, Mia, has a special interest in the stories about this clown, and she even did a show on it. Mia wants to talk to Shauna about the incident that happened 5 years ago, but Shauna isn't ready for that. Shauna's negative response disappoints Mia, and she leaves. Later, Jonathan gets a bit upset with his sister, and the two get into an argument. Shauna tries to explain to him that she's seen the clown again, but Jonathan thinks it's just a hallucination from her past. After that, Jonathan goes back to his room. Mentally disturbed, he starts breaking things in frustration. He begins to wonder if maybe Shauna is right. Meanwhile, the clown blends into the Christmas crowd and starts handing out dangerous toys to children. Parents feel something odd about him, but the kids are drawn to him. Suddenly, a child opens one of the toys, which causes a massive explosion. Many people are injured in the blast. Panic spreads through the crowd, and the clown vanishes. After that, the clown goes to a university campus pretending to distribute Christmas gifts. Mia, still dreaming of interviewing Jonathan, ends up back there. But the clown has something else in mind. Shauna, on the other hand, is at home watching TV with her family. When she hears the news about the explosion at the mall, her worry and fear intensify. She's now completely sure that she really did see the Joker, and it wasn't just her imagination. A panicked Sienna calls her brother Jonathan and begs him to come home. Meanwhile, Jonathan is hanging out and joking around with his friend Mia when the Joker suddenly shows up. He breaks down the door and terrifyingly captures both of them. The Joker attacks Mia and Jonathan with an electric sword, trying to separate them. Sienna wakes up from a terrifying nightmare and hears strange noises coming from downstairs. When she goes to check, she sees the Joker laughing and plotting with the other people in the house, planning how they're going to kill her. Right in front of her, the Christmas tree is decorated with human skulls. Horrified, Shanna tries to escape, but the Joker catches her and knocks her unconscious. When she regains consciousness, she finds herself tied to a chair, with her aunt also bound in front of her. The Joker is decorating the Christmas tree when he decides to brutally kill Sienna's aunt. Sienna, helpless to save her aunt, watches the Joker inserts a pipe into her aunt's head and fills it with rats. The rats get stuck in her throat, and while trying to escape, scratch it from the inside. Watching this gruesome scene, Sienna is terrified, but can do nothing. Next, the Joker turns his attention to Shanna. He forces a crown of thorns onto her head, causing her to bleed. Later, Sienna finds out that her brother Jonathan has also fallen victim to the Joker. The rats had destroyed it, and Shauna's nephew was there too. When he saw all this, he began to cry. Shauna realized that her nephew was going to be the next victim. She tried to stop the clown, but he grabbed her by the neck. As soon as her nephew was in danger, a sudden surge of power awakened inside Shauna, and she managed to push the clown away. The clown fell a short distance away, but still wasn't ready to give up. He tried to kill her nephew, but the clef stopped him and pointed toward a special gift. He threw the gift toward Shauna and told her to open it. Shauna's hands got injured while opening the gift, but she endured the pain and opened it. Inside was a small sword, which she immediately plunged into the clown's throat. Then, she threw the sword, and it struck directly into Ricky's body. Shauna quickly freed herself from the restraints, pulled the sword from Ricky's body, and slit his throat. Susan hugged her and praised Gabber's bravery, but surprisingly, the clown came back again, this time holding a saw and moving toward them. Shauna quickly counterattacked with her sword, but during the fight, while trying to dodge a blow from the saw, her sword was knocked away. Suddenly, a close combat fight broke out. During this, the clown bit Shauna on the waist, which caused her to lose balance and fall to the ground. As her neck neared the saw, she suddenly regained control and made a clever move that caused the clown to stumble and fall. Shauna quickly got back up, but just then, the saw came close again and got stuck on a table, giving Shauna a chance to catch her breath. Robin immediately put the saw down. Using a thick silk cloth, the Joker wrapped it tightly around Sana's neck. To save herself, Sana bit through the cloth and fell to the ground. She quickly picked up her sword, and when the Joker attacked again, she drove the blade straight into his stomach, leaving him drenched in blood. Sana had now made up her mind. She was going to end the Joker once and for all. As she looked at him, she noticed some kind of radioactive liquid leaking from Ricky's body, and suddenly, deep chasm opened up beneath them. Sana rushed toward the edge of the pit. She handed the handle of her sword to her niece, trying to pull her out, but the little girl's grip slipped, and she fell into the abyss. Sana sat at the edge of the dark pit, calling out, but no answer came. When she looked up, the Joker had vanished. Her hands were badly wounded, but within moments, the wounds healed. This strange power reignited her will to fight. She decided she would face the Joker again and find her niece. Meanwhile, the Joker boarded the last bus. A woman sitting nearby started staring at him, disturbed by his bizarre appearance. With this, the movie ends here. Subscribe to this channel for more slasher horror stories like this.